Alright, we're live. How's everyone doing? Welcome back. Welcome to... I literally just made a video, and as I was recording it, my analysis became invalidated. So here we are. Welcome to the live stream. Smash up the fucking likes as we get in here, guys. I'm hyped up. I don't know about you guys. I am pretty damn hyped up right now with this market. Do me a favor, smash up those likes as we're coming in. Let me know if you can hear me okay, if the video's okay, if the audio is okay. And, yeah, what's up, guys? What's up? Welcome back. It's been a minute since I've done a live stream. Here's what happened. Bitcoin got a really big pump up. It would have hunted shorts. And now we are dropping back down. So we're probably hunting some longs now. Generally, when this kind of thing happens and we retrace this much, we actually will generally sweep the low. So I'm going to be expecting that we sweep the low and hit this level at some point soon. You guys knew my analysis. I never really said that I thought this area was particularly strong as far as support goes. For me, the strong support ended like up here. This box was drawn a little bit more down, so maybe something a bit more like this. But that's kind of the extent of the support that I was expecting. I wasn't expecting anything significantly more than that. So that's what my thoughts were in terms of that support area. So I'm not going to be expecting miracles here now. What we're going to be doing in this live stream is covering my analysis and your questions. So as we're going along, drop your questions here, and I'm watching the live chat as well as we're coming along here. We're basically right back to where we were last night, a day ago. We're right back at the same level. We've lost all of that progress. And the only thing that's been achieved, ladies and gents, is anyone that is trigger happy, anybody that is impatient, anybody that excessively trades has lost their money. That's it. If you were short, you've lost your money. If you were long, you've lost your money. And that means the only people that have been okay during this are people who who know better than to aggressively trade this market at times where they shouldn't. So that's my main piece about what this price action has shown us so far. And as far as where we might go next, that's what I want to talk about now. Like I said, that support area is going to be in play, I think, now that this stuff has taken place. We've tested the upside very well. We've been rejected there. That's another rejection at the $30,000 area, which is exactly what we expected. So no surprises there either. And if we draw that Fibonacci, this is the 382 level that I've been watching right here, which I think we could be returning back down to. And we do have some even better support down here at 24K as well, with 25 in the middle. That's our 0.5 retracement right around here. So these are the important price levels to be watching now. I would expect support at each one of them, and I think that that's where we're going to be headed to. Is it still possible that we mount another attack up? Yeah, of course. This support area could do something nice for Bitcoin and then we move up, but I mean, how unusual would that be, right? I don't think that's something which I'd be willing to place my bets on. I mean, if we did something like that, we might actually be forming a descending triangle, right? If we kind of form that kind of pattern, and then, this kind of would break out towards the end of May, that's basically, kind of the completion of this pennant if we ended up forming it. It is interesting that we got rejected along this line right here that I just drew. So, 2 points allow you to draw a line, but the third point allows you to validate the line, okay? So this could be an area of resistance that Bitcoin returns to. And I guess the main problem is, like, all the bearish things with the market are right back in play now. This 4-hour Ichimoku cloud could turn out to be a problem for Bitcoin. The previous area where we were finding resistance could offer more resistance to Bitcoin. We were finding resistance here before we broke into the range, and we found resistance in the range because the market consolidated. So both of these points here, be it I guess if I draw an even more precise box like this area and this area, they're both going to be problematic for Bitcoin. I guess I could move this box a little bit higher or something up here, So both of these price areas, if Bitcoin punches up here, I'd be expecting resistance. If we clear that and get up here, I'd be expecting resistance. Yesterday when I made my video, I was talking about how I thought the market would break down, but we had some possibility of breaking up anyway, because we were kind of losing momentum, which is an indication that we could break up. And we didn't actually find resistance on the way but we know why that was. That was because of the First Republic Bank that basically collapsed again, because this is the season where all the banks are collapsing, and that's kind of what resulted in the Bitcoin move. But I also said in my most recent video, most of you probably haven't even watched that video, that the move wasn't reflected with gold, and traditional finance is down in general. So, this isn't the setup that it is a bullish environment for Bitcoin. So, the fact that Bitcoin got a pump, it kind of just got the pump as far as we can see from that bank collapsing. And that's kind of an isolated incident, so you don't want to be placing your bets on that kind of thing. If one thing is pretty bullish, but everything else isn't, then you've got to maybe think twice before, drinking that Kool-Aid. And what I warned you about in the previous video that I uploaded just today, basically like 30 minutes before I went live on this live stream with you all today. And by the way, as you're coming in, do me a favor and fucking destroy that like button for me for this last minute live stream with you guys right here. This is exactly what we're all about. I miss doing these live streams. Obviously, the market has given us some moves, so that's why I'm back. It's amazing to see all of you here as well. So if you are enjoying this content, do me a favor and smash up those likes. I am here for as long as you want me. So while you guys are still smashing up those likes and making sure you're subscribed, you got the bell icon checked and all that stuff, I'm chilling with you guys. If I got to be here for 3 hours, I'm here. I actually wanted to go out to a waterfall for a little bit of a hike, but that's gonna have to wait if Bitcoin is pumping, and that is completely okay. I am okay with that. So yeah, seeing the banks come down, it's more of an isolated thing, and that's why I wasn't entirely convinced with this pump. And the thing is yeah, I mean, we're not, it's not looking better now. We've got a minute until this trading session closes, apparently, for New York. I didn't know that trading sessions in New York close at 10 past 4 p.m. That's a weird that's a weird thing. I'm guessing that's new. I don't know. I would have thought 4:30 or 5 p.m., but I don't know. Maybe it's a special day. Someone in America can probably tell me that. So it's just not the setup to be, super bullish right now, unfortunately. I mean, I'm in a long position. I'm still in the same long position. I was back up to, nearly 200k profit, just a few minutes ago before the dump. And by the way, the dump is super recent. If you're just tuning in now, look at this on the 1 minute time frame. This just happened. We're just consolidating now, before potentially even taking the next leg down. So I still want to see the market move up, obviously, because my long position is traded that way. But, I've also got to be realistic about what I'm looking at. But bottom line, I'm glad I traded it on Bybit. Obviously, it's a super secure place to be at a time like this. Exchanges are having all sorts of issues at times like this in the market. But, of course, Bybit isn't. Bybit stands strong. OKX has been standing strong. I'm still in my Ethereum position on OKX as well. Both of these are available to you. If you pause the live stream right now and head on over to the description, you can sign up to both and get 30k in rewards on both exchanges. Bybit will literally give you free cash that you deposit into your account. You can trade with that money, make profits with it. If you make profits, you can withdraw them, and it is money they're giving you. So if you lose money when you trade with their cash, it doesn't matter. You're not going to have any issues, which is really, really cool. And they are also running that iPhone giveaway, as you know very well. So check that out. You have only got to deposit $100 and you're going to get access to that, which is very, very cool indeed. Let's see what questions we've got here in the comments before I continue on with my analysis. The picture is evolving right now, basically, as I'm with you here. And one of the big things that I want to kind of stress in this live stream is that I'm not paying attention to the news. People are like, well, why did we pump? Why did we dump? Guys, you can open up your news articles all day and there's going to be something, right? There's a million reasons at any given time for why Bitcoin should pump, and there's a million reasons at any given time for why Bitcoin should dump. And you can scramble and try and find the reason, but it doesn't matter. And it never will matter, because, and I say this all the time, but I guess I need to say it again. We've obviously got quite a few new people on the channel. If you're reading the news, you are the last group of people to be reading it. You're also part of the biggest group of people to be reading it, but you're the last. The news event happened, so whoever was around when it happened knows about it. They've had a chance to trade it. The journalist wrote about it. Their editor saw it. It was leaked to friends and other insiders. And then you're the final. And I don't even want to be particularly rude about it, but you're the final guy or girl that's getting the information when every other idiot is getting the information. So you're late anyway, so I don't know why you'd go logging onto a news website to try and find out what happened. Now that you're here on the channel, I'll tell you what happened, because I know exactly what this was, and it was very simply that, shorts had to get fucked. Anyone that was short got screwed on this move. We had a lot of very good reasons to go short, and it was a good trade to be short. I traded the short side, I made some money, the rest was closed at break even, so I'm okay with that, but shorts got screwed. A lot of people became very confident. Those of you that were in longs were super happy with that, obviously. A lot of you guys, maybe not watching this live stream, but a lot of people in the space in general entered long positions up here, and they've been building their long positions as the price was dropping down, as we saw with the long and short ratio. Retail traders were 64%. 64% of positions yesterday were long with retail, and now that number has dropped down to 60%, and obviously it's out of date now, so it might be quite different, but it's clear that we still have majority bullish positions across retail right now, as we were at these resistance levels. So, longs got screwed, shorts got screwed. That's it. And this is one of the most typical things. Guys, stop spamming the chat, please. This is one of the, because when you spam the chat, I can't read normal comments. So what we had here, people that traded short side got wrecked, people that traded long side got wrecked, and end result is we're in the same place. Okay, and this is the most typical thing that Bitcoin does. We did it over here as well. It might not have been the intention of the market, but anyone that was long got screwed on this move. Anyone that entered a short here got screwed on this move, and then the price went back down. Okay, I mean it's so typical. I can find you a million examples. Here's another example right here. This one's exactly like what happened today. On this side, everyone got screwed going short. On this side, everyone got screwed going long, and then the market continued trading. Right? It's just this is what we do when we're on our path, whether that path is down and we're headed to 25k, or that path is up and we're headed to 40k, we take the scenic route. Sometimes we just pause, the market manipulators lick their fingers, fuck everybody, and then they get back to business. I mean, that's basically what ends up happening, what's been happening for a long time. As we know very well, Bitcoin is not a regulated market, despite how much governments across the world try. You can't regulate Bitcoin, and so naturally there's going to be a little bit of manipulation, and that's what we saw here. That's it. I mean, you can point to your First Republic news article all day. You can look at the next news article that gets published in response to this, because I'm sure these journalists have already had the next article locked and loaded, ready to go, as the most typical thing that happens. But at the end of the day, all that we saw was a liquidity hunt, right? So anyone that was trading too aggressively, anyone that was being stupid, because I was saying to you guys, this is not the time to be trading long positions, and I wasn't comfortable with shorts either. That's why I got out of my short position. If you excessively trade, you're gonna get hurt. And that's what happened here as well. But bottom line, the facts are we're back at this area now that we were at just yesterday. We have resistance up ahead, and we're still trending down. We've been trending down from since this high. The fact is that this is still a resistance area, and we've now gotten a second rejection here. So maybe we do a weird thing and come back up, but that would be very unusual. Usually when we do something like this, we just keep dumping lower, and so that's what I'm gonna have to expect, giving me that support area down here at 26.7. I'd love to see a bounce down there. Obviously, we've just dropped in a straight line. Everyone was talking about, we took the stairs down and the elevator up. Well, now we just jumped off the fucking building, apparently. And we're going much faster down. So, our support may not provide relief in that sense, but at the same time, it's been too much of a drop. So, naturally, no matter what, we need to we need to get a support bounce at some point, right? Whether that happens here or a little bit lower, or maybe in the middle of nowhere, which apparently Bitcoin's just doing weird things that don't make sense, right? So I'm gonna have to say that even that's on the cards now. But still, my expectation and where I think the price is going is going to be 25k, and that remains unchanged from yesterday. That didn't even change earlier today, because if you just go back to my YouTube channel and look. Other than this live stream, if you look at this most recent video that I just look at this half an hour ago, I literally uploaded it 35 minutes ago. This video right here, I was telling you guys that I'm not buying this, when we were just up at those price levels, and rightfully so, I think, because the price action didn't really make sense. Now, what I really like, though, is that this is forming some very juicy opportunities across the altcoin market. You guys know the deal. Come back to this live stream if you haven't already subscribed to this channel. Just go to the top link in the description, subscribe to this channel, and come right back. I'm not going anywhere. And this is where I've been posting all of my altcoin analysis. I literally just posted an Ethereum video 30 minutes ago as well. I was just blazing these videos videos through, and then I figured, you know what, I may as well do a live stream here. So smash up the likes if you appreciate that instead of these videos. And the deal here is that these coins are all looking like there's a lot of very juicy opportunities across the board. But what's most interesting beyond that is the dominance. Bitcoin's dominance has shot up. We're right back up to that resistance area right now, which is really, really interesting. And what I was saying to you guys in these videos recently that just went live is that we haven't spent this much time at the top of Bitcoin's dominance range. You know, we've had this range set now since April, May of 2021, so it's been literally 2 years, or it will be 2 years next month, or in 5 days, in other words, actually. And we've never spent this long up here. You know, previously we couldn't even spend a day up here. We're on the daily time frame right now. We couldn't even spend it. We couldn't even close a candle up here. Next time we couldn't get this high. The time after that we closed a few candles here, but no, you know, nothing big. This time we couldn't even get all the way up, and the next time we closed the candle, and the very next day we started our dump. It's very different to right now. Right now, whereas previously we couldn't hang around this level for more than a day, basically, on this occasion here we've spent 40 days up here. So you know, when the market wants to break areas of resistance, the way it does it sometimes, a lot of the time actually, is, you know, previously we'd get quick rejections, but when the market is a lot stronger than that, it's just going to hang around at the resistance level, you know, and we're not going to get rejected. It's a very typical bullish play for the market. My only problem with this is that, in my experience, it's not super smart to carry out analysis with charts on Bitcoin's dominance. So I just keep it super simple. This isn't a price chart. It's just a representation of where the money is in the crypto space. So, you know, to do analysis on this kind of chart is almost pointless. I mean, I'm not going to go as far as saying that it is pointless, because it has clearly been accurate. Especially the analysis that we've given you on this channel. But at the same time, you know, you got to take it with a pinch of salt. That said, this is still worth paying attention to. And if we do end up breaking this area of resistance, it could be quite a big rise up, and we could see a lot more blood across these markets. These altcoins are opening up to some big drops right now. So, you know, this is definitely something that is worth paying attention to. The fact that the markets have now had another test of resistance and are potentially coming down again is a really big deal, you know, and it's a big deal that could actually mean, you know, like there's some pretty good opportunities here to take some short positions up in the market. So again, that's something that I'm going to be doing on Bybit and OKX, and of course both of these exchanges are giving you huge rewards. Bybit's just straight up giving you cash that they'll put in your account for you to trade with for free, so that is really, really cool. Obviously, you know, leverage trading is dangerous, you know, so you've got to do your research and know what you're doing, but still very, very cool offers indeed. I want to see what kind of questions you guys have as we're going along with this live stream. Thank you to all of you that have smashed up those likes in this live stream already, and for double checking that you're subscribed and all that good stuff. I do appreciate all of that very, very much. If you have specific questions you want me to answer, then please let me know in the comment section now, and I will go through them. Long term, where is Bitcoin going? Well, you know, I don't think that the picture has necessarily changed. This is only kind of, you know, chopped, to be honest, as far as I'm concerned. We're not doing anything that's particularly market defining. I mean, this is a pretty fucking bearish candle, to be honest, guys, and we've got about 3 hours to turn this around, 4 hours to turn this around. So, you know, I mean, anything's possible for Bitcoin right now, but it is a pretty shitty candle. But long term, nothing's changed. You know, I mean, maybe a pullback to 25, but I still think we can go higher. You know, and that's been my opinion for a while. You know, so that's what I'm going to continue to expect if we do come down to 25. You know, could we get a deeper correction? Somebody did mention here, I want to shout you out, Crypto Honesto. Did mention a 20k retest, you know, so some of you guys are expecting a much deeper pullback down to levels like this. You know, could that happen? Yeah, of course, you know, but I think that's a little bit too deep. I don't think the market needs to do that, and it would also mean that we're no longer necessarily setting higher lows, you know. So if it were me, worst I think we're gonna get is down here. Maybe if the market is especially brutal, we come down to 22, but I don't even think we're going down that low. I don't think that we're doing that badly, right? I just think that there's this little bit of excess bullish energy in the market. You know, fear and greed index is a little bit too high. Long and short ratio is a little bit too high for retail, especially. You know, we just need to shake confidence in the space a little bit. We're a little bit too too optimistic overall, in my opinion. So this gets shut down a little bit, and then we're chilling, and then we're ready to go back up. It's the classic thing. I mean, what I outlined for you in the previous video. Again, obviously, many of you haven't watched that video because it just went live half an hour ago, but what I was saying in that video, guys, is that this is an area of resistance, and it doesn't really matter like what your opinion of it is. What we had throughout the whole rally up was everyone and their nan was bearish on the market. Retail was majority bearish on the market during the whole rally up, and it's only when we're at the top of the range or when we're close to the top of the range like right now, this is where people are bullish after we've already moved up by more than double. People turn bullish right at the top. We're already 80% up out of a 100% move. We're 80% up in that move, and now people are majority bullish. You know what I mean? Like, it's just the classic, it's the most typical thing that always happens where, we were bullish down here. You guys are going to remember this very well if you've been subscribed to the channel for a minute. I was super, I was scared, obviously, and I told you guys that very clearly as well. Like, I was, I didn't know what was going to happen. I can't see the future. Obviously, my analysis was telling me that it's pretty clear we're going to rise up, but it's still scary, when the price is so low, when the chart looks like this, I'm still telling you that I think we're going to get up to 30, that I think we're going to get up to 40 even, but it wasn't easy for me to make that prediction, but at the same time, that's where everybody was bearish, and they stayed bearish during the whole rally up, and they just turned bullish at the fucking top. Which is the most so retail was wrong down here. They were wrong all the way through here. And then they flipped their bias right at the top to be bullish now, so, and retail are always the ones that get it wrong. I mean, this is what my argument rests on. This is what I'm seeing in the market. I'm just seeing another classic episode of retail is too bearish at the bottom and too too bullish at the most logical area of resistance that we have. And I know we're not there anymore, but we were there, just half an hour ago, and we're still very close to that price level. So we're still going to be feeling the effects of that resistance. And again, with a longest short ratio that's too high, with a fear and greed index that's too high, the market is showing me that you get a big move up and then you're instantly rejected. Again, I give you that analogy of we took. With this price action here, we took the stairs down, the elevator up, and then we jumped off the fucking building. That's what happened here, So it was a pretty bullish thing. A lot of people got excited. Sentiment really turned. I was showing you guys my Twitter feed. It wasn't actually showing particularly much, but now, I'm sure we're back to completely bearish charts across the board on Twitter. It's just a. If you had stuck to the facts in the first place, you would have been less bullish at the top, and you'll be aware that we have some really serious signs that we could be ready to trend down just in the short term. But it's not a bad thing. I mean, I'd just be looking to see. I've probably got the my bad. Yeah, I haven't been showing my chart. You guys are probably screaming at me in the chat. With the S&P 500, I think if we're able to find some support, relatively soon. I was telling you guys that I don't expect this pullback to be particularly deep, right? We had a fairly deep pullback here from high to low. We did fall down by about 10%, right? Which for the S&P 500, 9% is definitely quite a big pullback. But right now it's kind of already at support. There's no huge reason that the market needs to pull back from what I'm seeing. So if we recover anytime soon, then yeah, I think things could start going pretty well for Bitcoin. Until that happens, we're kind of stuck in an uncomfortable place, to be honest. Where Bitcoin is gonna have to be pointing to the downside just for a little bit. Let's take a look at gold, because I think gold is pretty relevant here, and gold is holding its price level. It's continuing to stay very strong. I mean, my analysis with you guys was that we either break out right now, right up here, which obviously didn't happen, or we kind of pull back a little bit, do something a little bit like what we're doing now, and then we attempt it again. But bottom line, we're probably not going low again, and I still maintain that that's my idea here. We're just kind of trading a little bit a little bit sideways right now. So that's what I'm seeing for gold right now, and of course these things are impacting Bitcoin as well. So we've got neutral signs kind of leading bearish with the S&P 500. The dollar is still looking neutral, but the point with the dollar here is I mean, this is still a support area, right? And it's a big support area, right? So if the dollar is going to be bouncing, that's probably not going to be good for the S&P 500. That's probably not going to be good for Bitcoin by extension. This is still a support area. Now, granted, we have tested it and we've gotten a bounce from it already. And so we've kind of, in a sense, we've already used this area of support, and now we're back down to the bottom. So this is really bearish for the dollar, right? I mean, if you're hoping that the dollar is going to be rising up, this is the worst chart you could be seeing. We're basically in the classic situation where you get a move up originally, you come back down and you consolidate at the lows before losing them, right? Which is the opposite of what Bitcoin is doing with its dominance chart. Bitcoin got up to resistance. I can't type today. Bitcoin got up to resistance, and now it's just hanging out over here, getting ready to break up. So it's the same analysis I'm giving you guys. It's just happening in reverse for the dollar. So this is still a weak place, but at the end of the day, it's also still a support area. So you still got to be cautious at these areas and expect that we could experience some problems here. But if the dollar does lose this area, it's probably going to mean huge things for the S&P 500. And it's probably going to give Bitcoin exactly what it needs in terms of ammunition and firepower to punch into that mid 30K range. So, that's the big thing that we're waiting for. And that's probably going to be pending, perhaps some of the interest rate moves that the Fed takes. So that's what I'm seeing there. Let's go back to the comment section here. If you guys have questions you want to drop for me in the live chat, if I haven't answered your question yet, then do me a favor and drop it back in here. And I do want to thank you all for hitting up that like button as we're live in this video. And yeah, just double check, by the way, that you are subscribed to that altcoin channel, because this is where I've been putting out a lot of analysis to do with these markets and some really cool trading setups. You guys have been really enjoying that channel so far, and it's been great to run it. We've been doing pretty well with that channel, and I am very open to your suggestions for content, whether it's on the main channel or on that 4Flies Daily channel that I'm looking at. Yeah, MDX short at the top. That was very impressive. I saw his live stream title. That was very cool. This was pure manipulation. YouTubers were quick to jump on the wagon and scream moon. Yeah, absolutely, because YouTubers don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Most of the YouTubers you guys are watching are just marketers. They're just getting paid for marketing things. They don't know what they're doing, but they're making too much money to give a shit, because it's very profitable if you do that as a YouTuber, But to be a real trader and a real analyst, you've got to make bold price predictions at bold price levels, and then you've got to stick to them when everyone thinks that you're an idiot. It's much harder work. So, the smart guys just kind of stay as marketers, and then they leave the hard work to guys like me. But that's okay, because we're doing all right. We're still making money out here. We're chilling. So. I speak so fast, yeah, I just get excited. I'll try and slow down a little bit. One of the most manipulated couple of days, lost close to $1,000 myself. I mean, you got to be careful about these. I mean, this is not the time to be trading, guys. I was saying, sorry about the loss, bro, but I've been saying this continuously. This is not the time to trade. A lot of people. Here's the thing. So I got you guys know about the VIP group. It's amazing. I just had another call with one of our yearly members today. I was actually on the call. They were asking me what I think about the market. We talk about like anything in these calls. I mean, obviously, I'm still not your financial advisor, but you can follow these steps on screen if you want to join. Yearly members get phone calls with me, and they were asking me about my thoughts on the market, and I kind of just said, look, like this doesn't make sense. This market shouldn't have moved up the way it did. And what I said to them last, because I had a call with them last week as well, is that this is just a dangerous time to be trading, right? And that's why I'm being really careful about my positions, which they're seeing me trade in real time in VIP as well. And I told them, like, and they were in a very rough position. I kind of just said, look, this is a bad time to be in trades right now. And I said the same thing again, just like 2 hours ago when I had the call with them, and this is the result, so. It's quite poetic how that happened the way it did. If you want to get inside, then obviously these are the steps on screen. Let's bring it back to the chart though, because I do want to go through some more of your questions. Let's see what we got here. Keep slowly, my bad. I'm still talking fast. It's just a coffee. You know the deal. With the recession around the corner, I can't believe that you're so bullish. So here's the thing, Thomas, about the recession. I don't know what metric you guys are looking at, but in case the governments are redefining recession as well, recession just means 2 consecutive quarters where the economy shrinks. That's it. It's actually not that scary. I mean, recession is still a bad thing, but 2 consecutive quarters where the economy shrinks. That's what recession means. So, I mean, I don't know about the US, but I'm pretty sure the UK has had a recession now for a very long time. So people are talking about recession around the corner. We're in it already, or we've already had it. So case closed. Recessions just aren't that dramatic. You talk about like things happening around the corner. I mean, look, the layoffs have already happened. People have already lost their jobs in a lot of sectors. Yes, this could continue to get worse, but bottom line, I'm not a macroeconomist. I'm not the guy that's going to comment on, is this going to keep getting worse? But what I can say is that dollar printing, has restarted, which is very bullish for these markets. The dollar itself is in a weak position. Banks are collapsing. Bitcoin's in an uptrend. Bitcoin needs to pull back. I mean, I'm just stating facts for you guys. I'm not saying anything that's controversial. Even though maybe things are going to get worse with the economy from certain metrics, and there's a lot of conflicting data out there, what I'm seeing and the things that are much more relevant to my direct trades and my direct investments is that this landscape is still bullish in the long term. And that might not mean that we, pump up to 60K in the next few months, but certainly I wouldn't be surprised if we're still at, 30K, 40K, 25K. It's a big range, I know, but I wouldn't be surprised if we're, in that price range, 6 months from now. And that would still be really good, because that means Bitcoin has shown a lot of strength after dropping down by so much, and that's exactly what leads to the market bottoming out. So I'm definitely liking those signs right there. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. There are many accepted definitions of recession. Okay, well, thank you for educating me on that, because I didn't know that. As far as I know, the only definition is 2 consecutive quarters of the economy shrinking. And that's the only definition I've read when I was studying all this stuff years ago, because recessions were quite a simple term where I come from in the UK. Maybe you guys have a different definition in the US, but or somewhere else around the world. But it was very clear to me when I was studying this stuff that recession only meant 2 consecutive quarters of shrinking. And most definitions are like that as well. We've started to redefine what inflation means as well. The U.S. government is reporting inflation in a completely different way now than they were back in the 80s, for example. And I'm definitely sounding like Peter Schiff right now, but it's true. So if we're changing definitions, then yeah, whatever. We might not be in a recession yet, but it's just not the. It is a common misconception that it's 2 consecutive quarters. Is the only definition. Okay, well, my bad then. I'll have to do more research on it. Because I wasn't. Sammy Schiff, there we go. Yeah, I'm his lost brown son from the other side of the world. But yeah, that's my opinion on that. I will do more research on it. If I'm wrong, I need to be educated on it, obviously. So I'm gonna check that. But I don't know. That definitely conflicts with what I thought. Check the Pepe chart. I don't even know what that is. That sounds interesting. Let's take a look at Pepe. Is this even a coin? I don't even know. Yeah, this is just a shit coin. I don't know. I don't want to look at this chart right now. If you guys have other questions related to Bitcoin right now, then I'm definitely willing to take a look. Let's just take a look at where our indicators are. Daily EMA ribbon, we've got hanging around the same price area here, still offering support to Bitcoin, but definitely not particularly good support. We haven't really been able to use it other than this dump that ended up ending. So that's not particularly great. And if we look at the Ichimoku cloud, we still have a lot of support lower down. So this is actually really good. If we get that dump quickly, actually, to be fair, if we fall down to 25K within a week, we're at really good support on the daily Ichimoku cloud. So this is huge. Super short term, it looks like we could drop, but that support is there, and it is really, really bullish, I think, for this chart right now. So that definitely looks good. That's definitely giving me a lot of confidence right now with what this market wants to do. So I do like the look of that. Let's take a look at the weekly, just out of curiosity. A big old resistance cloud there. I'm not worried about it. Weekly resistance isn't actually very reliable for Bitcoin because Bitcoin moves too quickly. So the weekly time frame doesn't really work for this indicator in my experience, but daily time frame, it's very reliable. It was reliable back here. I was actually warning you guys about it when we were like up here. I was saying, look, the cloud is far away, but it might become relevant. And I said the same thing when we were up here. I said, look, the cloud is far away, but it might become relevant. And so it was relevant back here. In fact, it was 100% relevant. It was exactly where the market bottomed. So if we end up seeing something similar now, that really shouldn't be very surprising at all. Do I have a hold allocation too, or do I just trade? Yeah, most of my capital is just held, just Bitcoin that I'm just holding, and then I do have a small functional amount of money that I trade with, because I don't want to trade with too much money. Otherwise, I'd start making mistakes because I'd be scared of losing my money, because I'm human too, and I've got to do things to make sure that I don't succumb to my emotions and feelings. You know, one of the big things that I said on that call with the VIP early members is that, you know, we're in a position where in these markets, you know, you really need to understand who you're trading against. You know, if you play poker, you'll sit at the table, and depending on your skill level, you'll be playing around people that are similar skill levels, right? If you're playing for money, if you're playing with friends, obviously it can be different. But if you're playing for money, generally the skill tables are around the same. You know, you get the little shitty casinos with a £1 buy-in, and they're gonna have a certain, you know, tier, certain skill level of player, and then you go to a $10,000 table in Hong Kong, and it's gonna be a different story, right? There's going to be a different skill level. So you can kind of like compete at your level in a sense. And trading and poker are very similar, right? Good traders are generally good poker players and vice versa, usually the opposite way around, actually. And what's important to note about that is trading is different in terms of the skill level. You know, when you're trading, you're jumping in, you're signing up to Binance or Bybit or whatever the case may be for the first time. You may have zero experience trading, but you're not trading against people that are as inexperienced as you. I need to really make this point super, super hard for you guys, especially those of you that have been losing money or that haven't been performing particularly well right now in this market, because you should have made a lot of money on this move. Like, I mean, you know, this was a good move. This was a healthy move. The TA, I mean, with the exception of what happened in the last few days, the TA has been respected very well. The charts have been really accurate. Everything has been good. Everything's been what we need as traders. And if you've still fucked this up, you've got some real thinking to do, because you're missing, like, this is where the money is made. And if you're still not making money right now, you know, you've really got to think carefully about what you're doing. And a lot of people, they fall into this trap where, here's the thing, right? We talk about the skill levels in this game. Poker, okay, you're all at the same skill level, whatever. You know, it's doable. You can play, you can get better. As a trader, you are, regardless of your skill level, playing against the top dogs. You know, the people that are going to outsmart you are the people that are sitting in high-rise skyscrapers in New York City or in beautiful mansions on the coast of California, you know, who've already made their $50 million, you know, or their $700 million or whatever, and they've got all the you know, the fancy indicators available to them, and crucially, they're not idiots. All right? They don't overtrade. They don't trade with emotion. They don't do stupid things that normal traders do. They don't do stupid things that you guys who are watching this channel have been doing, that I've done. They don't pile on, you know, long positions with retail necessarily 100% of the time. They're not the guys that, you know, turn bullish at every resistance level and bearish at every support level. These are the guys that have their heads screwed on, that don't overtrade, that don't trade out of emotion. When they lose money, they don't start losing their shit and revenge trading and then making it worse and entering a spiral of depression. These are the guys that understand the game. They have the TA skills, they have the psychological skills to not make stupid mistakes, and you are losing your money to them. You know, so why on earth you would come to these exchanges, not know what you're doing, trade aggressively, thinking the more buttons I click, the more money I'm going to make, is beyond me. Right? Like, if you're losing money at times like this, or if you're not making the right calls, you need to understand who you're trading against. You're just giving, like, just burn your fucking cash, mate. Just get a lighter and burn your cash notes if you're, you know, if you want to, like, it's going to achieve the same thing. You might even get more satisfaction out of it. You'd have more fun than watching yourself actually lose money on an exchange, which is a depressing experience and something that none of us like. This is a really, really important note that people don't seem to understand. You know, you're not trading against idiots. You know, you are the idiot if you're making mistakes like this. You're the guy that fur coat jacket. Yeah, exactly. I wish I had that jacket right now. You are the guy that smart, patient people are making money out of at times like this. You really need to keep this thing in mind, right? Like, not trading is a good thing. You know, when I was on that call with VIP members, what I said to them was, one of the reasons my success rate is where it is, and one of the reasons that I make the money I make, is because I don't lose money. It's because when I lose money, my losses are controlled. They're capped at 10%. They're capped at 20%. I wear a fucking seatbelt. I have a stop loss. That's what I call my stop loss. I call it a seatbelt. You know, I'm always wearing my seatbelt. right? So I'm always protected. I'm not unnecessarily losing money. I'm limiting my losses and I'm letting my winners run. You know, we go back to what I said earlier on in the live stream. If you're just tuning in, by the way, rewind and come back to the beginning because this whole video has been super relevant here. You're not going to miss out on anything. You can watch it on 2x speed and just catch up. But you know what I was saying about my long position is like at the same time I haven't had a reason to get out of my long position. So I got to let my winners run, right? Like I'm not going to be able to pay for my losses. I'm not going to be able to be a sustainable trader that stays in the green if I don't let my winners make me money. You know, so I'm just following basic principles, really basic stuff that you learn in $7 books, books that you can get for free if you type it into Google. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not doing anything crazy. I'm not reinventing anything. I'm not coming up with any revolutionary ideas. I'm just buying when the price is low, and I'm scaling off, scaling out when the price is high. And I'm warning you guys, when we're starting to reverse and when people are turning bullish late, that's generally what happens when the market needs to keep trending down, at least for a little bit. This is nothing groundbreaking. We're sticking to basic stuff here. We're not overanalyzing. I'm not sitting in front of my computer all day trying to look for trading setups. I'm just waiting for the right opportunity to come, and then I'm quietly going over there, picking up the cash, and returning back to my seat. That's it. No drama, no hassle. That's the way you trade. That's what real trading is. Real trading is that. Real trading is you do the rest of your stuff in your real life. You go out on that waterfall hike, you go take your kids out or whatever, you take your girl out on a date, you hit the gym, you live your life, and you're just waiting. You've set your price alerts, you're waiting for these price levels to break, and you've already got a plan if the price moves up. You've already got a plan if the price moves down, and you're just waiting to execute that. And in between, you're running your business, you're working your job. Breathe. Yes, I'm breathing. I'm chilling. But you know what I mean? Like, this is important stuff. And this is the time where people are going to pay attention. You're not going to pay attention when, you've made money, right? If I told you this stuff up here, would you listen to me? No, obviously not. But you're going to listen to me when you've just gotten fucked trading this wick, So, like, it's about, like, you got to hear the right things. You got to hear them at the right time. I only learned these lessons when I lost money. That's how it worked for me. So, and that's how it works for more people. Drink more coffee. You guys are going to not be able to keep up with me if I drink any more coffee today. I just care about you guys. You should be grateful. Yeah, of course I care about you guys. I wouldn't be saying this if I didn't. I want you guys to be, to be the traders that make money. Because otherwise, what does that say about my YouTube channel? So, I take pride in this, and that's why it's important to me. Even though you speak fast, I can only understand half of it. So that's my take. Big psychological note there. If you appreciate that little rant, do me a favor and smash up the likes. And take advantage of the beautiful offers available to you in the description as well. Obviously, there is so much for you to take advantage of. So many rewards. I only talk about OKX and Bybit, but Prime XBT is still chilling there. This is the easiest reward. Just whatever you deposit on Prime XBT using my link, you're going to get 7% back as a cash bonus, which is really, really cool. It's just more free money that you can trade with Bybit Prime XBT, giving you up to 37k combined. Really, really cool. So it's well worth checking out. You can, you can sign up, have your deposit done. You'd get the free money in your account, pretty quickly after you start trading. So it's worth taking a look at that if you want some extra ammunition in these markets. Can we get back into more of these live streams? Yes, certainly, Mitch. It really just depends. By the way, welcome back. I saw a comment earlier. It really just kind of depends on the market volatility and my availability. But if you guys want more, and you guys are engaging with this video beautifully, so I'm definitely down to do more live streams like this for sure, especially when the market is volatile. You guys don't want me here on a boring day. You want me here on a day where the price does this. So, I'm here if I need to be. If you guys want me to live stream or whatever, just hit me up on Telegram. These are the steps to message me directly on Telegram anyway. So, if you hit me up there and you want me to live stream, just let me know. I'm definitely down for that. Let's see what else we've got here. If we've got more questions, let me know. I am willing to go through them in this YouTube video. Bitcoin is managing to make a little move up now. Let's actually look at this on a different chart. One sec. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, so if we just kind of zoom in, look at this on the hourly time frame, we're just recovering. This is almost like a dead cat bounce by the looks of it. We're basically in a resistance area. We got to keep that in mind as well. We're approaching a resistance area from below. Let's see, what level do we need to break? Well, the bulk of the resistance ends here. So 28.6. It's the same level we've known about for a while. I guess you could say it's here. If we clear 28.5, we're probably doing okay. Before that is resistance. This is actually a pretty good short, I guess, overall. I mean, it's still a bit too high risk, but the good thing about a short up here is you'd probably have a resolution to your trade pretty quickly. If you're wrong, you'll find out very quickly, and if you're correct, you'll find out very quickly as well, and that's good. At least in my perspective, I prefer to be the guy that trades as little as possible. I don't want to be in my positions for a long time, because that means, that I could lose money. Because if you have open risk, that means that you can, that your capital can go down. I'm not worried about a trade like this because my stop loss is in profit, so that's okay. But with a new trade, I would have to choose it carefully, because I don't want to be in a trade for a long time. People feel like the more you click, the more money you make. That's not how it works. The more sensible opportunities you take, and the more you keep your capital safe, the more money you'll make. That's how it works. So that's my take there. But yeah, resistance up here. Let's see if there's any other indicators lining up with this. Probably not, but yeah. So we got our hourly Ichimoku resistance right here, but we've broken that, so we're doing okay there. 4 hour is still a little bit far away, but there's probably some momentum giving us some problems right now. Yeah, 4 hour EMA resistance is right here. So, I mean, we don't have a confluence. It's not like there is a lot of signs showing us that this is a good short up here to potentially play it lower, but at the same time, I mean, it is a resistance area, right? And we've dropped down by quite a bit, so it definitely I don't know what's bullish about this chart. I mean, if we get above 28.5, then okay, that's a big deal. But anywhere below 28.5, I think that we're still pointing down. And if we do get above it, then again we have to look at these highs and see if we can clear these highs that we set a few days ago. Oh, this was 10 days ago actually, roughly. Was it 12 days ago? So nearly 2 weeks ago that we were up here. If we can clear this high at 31,000, then we're probably pushing much deeper into the 30k range, and then whatever. I don't even know what to make of this price action. This is just it doesn't make sense on purpose. I mean, it's just liquidity hunts. That's what it is. That's why I was saying at the beginning of this live stream, like you can go looking for whatever news article tries to explain why we had this volatility, but ultimately all we did was we just screwed over short traders, and then we screwed over long traders, and that's really normal. We did it back here too. We did the exact same thing actually, and then to be fair, and then we did this basically. We did this. So maybe that's what happens now. But how can I predict that either? That's not particularly easy to make a TA, to make a bit of TA on to analyze. So I'm not going to be like putting my name behind that idea either. I've pulled up an indicator in the past that tracks the volume at different price levels. Yeah, and it shows the same thing. It shows that we're at a heavy area of resistance. It's called the VPVR, and you can only access it if you have a paid VRVP. What? Have I been saying it wrong this whole time? VPVR. No, it's volume range, volume profile. So I guess it just like swapped out. Before it was VP and then VR, and now they just swapped the name. Anyway, you can only get it if you have a paid subscription on TradingView, which you can also get using my link in the description right here. It's good to have. I mean, there's no reason not to. It's probably like $50 a month, so if you can't afford that, then you probably shouldn't be trading. But yeah, it's interchangeable. Both are fine. Yeah, VRVP doesn't sound right, like that sounds incorrect. But I mean, the indicator is showing us the same thing. This is the point of control. This is the big spike on the VPVR, and it happens to be exactly where we are. So this is where all the resistance is. So if we clear this, we're good. In fact, my line, look at that. My line is exactly where the VPVR drops off. Someone says it's false, and actually you can use it if you have a free plan on TradingView. That hasn't been my experience, and you literally saw that on video a few days ago because my subscription expired. My yearly subscription expired a few days ago, and I couldn't access this indicator. And it's always been that way, and you guys have reported the same thing to me. It feels like facts are going sideways right now. And I'm just being called out for being wrong when I'm like 100% certain I'm right. But anyway, maybe I am wrong. So you guys just try it, and if you use the tool. Okay, so there might be a tool for it. I think it's this. Yeah, this is the tool for the VPVR, but I don't use this tool. Let's take a look. Yeah, it shows the same thing. So the tool. Oh, you guys can't see this. One sec. Let me show you how to find this. Oh, you can see. Yeah. So you come on this side here, and you get the fixed range volume pro. It's the same thing, but to access it as an indicator, it's paid, and to access it as a tool, it's free. But it's a lot better as an indicator, in my opinion. You only really use this tool if you're like day trading, and obviously I'm not I'm not day trading. I'm curious to see if we just look at this. Yeah, the point of control is in the same. It's exactly where we are. This red line represents the point of control. It's exactly where we are right now. So, you know, we're at that point. You know, and that could definitely turn out to be a problem for Bitcoin. So so there we go. China's huge, and there's only so much Bitcoin. Okay, I'm not sure what you mean though. Let's see what else we've got here in the comments. Imagine after one more rate hike from Powell, then capitulation. Okay, so here's the thing. I don't know about that, but what I do have to say about this is if you have analysis that's kind of like one if statement stacked on top of another if statement stacked on top of another, you're more likely to be wrong, right? And I'll just give you this super easily with math. If we've got, let's say Bitcoin has a 55% probability. Sorry about this, guys. All right. Bear with. These captures have been getting harder. That's not even a bus, but these captures have been getting harder, I've noticed. If we've got, yeah, like a 50% chance of Bitcoin doing something, and then, you know, we say, you know, Bitcoin does this next, and then something else, and if each of these chances are a 50% chance of happening, eventually what's going to happen is you're just going to be very likely to be wrong. Apparently I can't type right now, but this is what I wanted to show you. It's like when you start stacking probabilities, what happens is your overall probability of being correct is very low. If there's a 50% chance of something happening, and then a 50% chance of something happening after that, and then again after that, you're just multiplying those probabilities together, and you're more likely to be incorrect about the whole idea. Now let me bring this back to English so that this makes sense. Wisdom is saying, Powell hikes rates, then capitulation, then real bull market. So first Powell needs to hike rates, then we need to have capitulation, and then we need to have a bull market. And the likelihood of each of these things happening in isolation might not be 100%. So if we multiply them together, your overall chance of being right is pretty low. And the reason I'm saying, and this doesn't, I'm not trying to block out all forms of analysis like this, but what I want you to do is at least understand what you're saying here, and what, like, it's hard. Like, it's hard to say that, you know, Bitcoin will get above this resistance level, right? And if we do get above this resistance level, maybe we top at 32, we deviate up here and come back down, or maybe we continue higher. But that's another probability, right? That's another uncertain thing. So first, Bitcoin needs to pump above here. I don't know if that's going to happen, right? Then we need to keep moving up, or we need to drop down. So you're combining probabilities here. You're less likely to be right. And God forbid you're making financial decisions based off like 6 stacked probabilities like a lot of people do. You're just guaranteeing that you're going to be wrong. You're just guaranteeing that somewhere along your elaborate plan of what's going to happen, that something is going to go wrong. You know, and so the way I like to analyze, and you've seen this very clearly on the YouTube channel, is I'm only interested in the direct next move. You know, because that way, I'm only analyzing the next thing. I'm only gauging the probability of the next thing happening, not multiple things. I'm not reducing my chances of being correct. It's an important way to switch thinking, because as traders, and especially the way that I'm trading with leverage, you don't need to trade everything. You know, and you don't need to trade, you know, big moves either. You know, it happened to be that I caught a big move with the trade that you guys know about from the long. But you know, I mean, most of the time I'm only looking for like 30% profit, 40%, 50% profit. You know, I'm not looking for anything crazy. And that yeah, that's an important kind of perspective shift, because we don't need to make our lives difficult as traders, right? I just look for easy gaps where I can make money, right? And I've told you guys repeatedly over the last few days that for me, the easy gap is here, 26.7 down to 25. That's the easy gap. It's a 7% range, 5 times leverage, and I'm making 35% profit. 10 times leverage, and I'm making 70% profit. You know, I mean, it's an easy trade, and I don't need to do anything particularly crazy. So that's my take there. Thank you guys for all of the amazing feedback on this live stream so far. I do appreciate you all very, very much. I'm only looking for 30-50% profit. I know that might sound like a lot of money, but again, with leverage, that's super easy, right? I mean, if this move happens, it's probably I mean, maybe not now because the price action is so irrational, but I would have said yesterday that if we fell below 26.7, it would probably just be one straight quick move down to 25, right? And in the same way that when we broke this area, it was a quick move up here, and then it was a quick move back down. So, that's just generally what happens in this price range, right? Generally, when the market enters this price range between this green line and this red line, we just complete the range. We just, we all the way down, all the way back up. In this case, not quite all the way down. And in this case here, all the way down. I mean, no questions asked. We don't stop in this range. We don't look around. There's no scenic route, nothing. We're just, bam, just dropping. And those are the easiest moves to trade because they're quick. And because we know that if a support area fails, that we probably have to fall down to the next area of support. So, it's pretty easy to analyze, these kind of things as well. And that's why, like, that's the way that I've kind of, like, changed how I view the market to, I just want to make my life easy. I don't need to see everything. I don't need to trade everything, and I don't need to wonder what might happen if 3 different things down the line take place. I'm just interested in the exact next move. And, to give you a direct answer on the Powell thing or whatever, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think interest rates, should have stopped rising for a while. It doesn't make sense that they're printing money and trying to raise interest rates at the same time. So that can't go on forever. I don't know if it's going to be, next time that they stop raising rates or the time after that. But I have a fairly high level of certainty that it will stop raising. At some point, soon. And the longer we go on, the more likely it is that they stop raising. It's the same thing I said earlier about, like if you've only, been raising the interest rates for a very long time, then you don't, you're kind of running, you can raise to infinity. Obviously that's possible too. But realistically, when you raise to a certain point, you got to start cutting. Realistically, when you buy enough Bitcoin, you got to start selling. You can't keep on pressing the buy button because you don't have any money to buy with anymore. If you've sold all of your Bitcoin, you can't keep selling Bitcoins because you don't have more Bitcoins to sell. Which is why when we come up to situations where, guys, let me know if the live stream is still up. When we come up to situations like we're up here and then we just kind of, or like here, this was a much better example, we're just kind of like consolidating at resistance. It makes me more bullish the longer we're at resistance because we're just like more selling pressure is getting exhausted. So when there's no more sellers in the market, then the only thing that can happen is we move up. And that's why consolidation at highs is really bullish. That's why this was a bullish setup too. It had potential, and I was telling you guys about that. But at the same time, we're still in that resistance area. And if you're forgetting that, and if you're one of the majority, that's going long right now, you might find yourself in a very uncomfortable position. You might not. Obviously the market's still fairly bullish long term, but there's a good number of reasons why you got to be skeptical right now, at least from my perspective, and that's why I am skeptical right now. So there we go. That's that's my take on those things. I think interest rates, should probably be coming down, to be honest. And as for capitulation, if these interest rates, again, to more directly answer your question, as for capitulation, I don't know. It's a fun flash word, to throw around. I guess it would be capitulation if we came down here or here. These levels would be pretty scary. But I don't know. I mean, for me, capitulation is more, a much bigger, like we get sent all the way down. I can't draw for some reason. We get sent all the way back down to here. Like this would be, or even start setting new lows. This would be capitulation for me. Not necessarily down to 25 or 23. And that's what I think is going to happen. I think we're, I don't think we're coming lower than here. I certainly don't think we're going to be setting new lows anytime soon, maybe ever. Possibly. I mean, we are still at the mercy of the wider, traditional finance markets, but I don't think that's going to happen, and we'll see. Like, I mean, as we get closer, this is the thing, is like I'm not going to fall into the trap of, well, if we fall here, then maybe we keep dropping down, because, well, we haven't even fell down here yet. So again, I'm starting to stack if statements. Like you fall into this trap really easily as a trader. Oh my god, what are you doing? Why are you spamming the chat, bro? No, I'm just gonna, don't spam the chat. Come on. I'm just gonna block you guys if you spam the chat. That's not okay. Because I'm trying to read what everyone else is saying. Like everyone's giving questions and stuff. You spam the chat, I can't read it. If you can't hear me, just put on the captions. There should be auto-generated captions on this live stream, or maybe it's not possible. I don't know. But But yeah, what you'll see is like as we start getting closer to these price levels down to 22, 23, I will let you guys know how I'm, if we get there. Nothing is guaranteed, but if we get there, I'll let you guys know how my kind of position is evolving, how I'm feeling about the market, and if I feel like we maybe are losing hope. I mean, it's going to depend, right? Like if we fall down, but it's like a nice fall, and we're just kind of falling into the daily Ichimoku cloud, doing something a little bit like this. Where the drop basically takes us right into an extremely reliable area of support, then how bearish am I really going to be? Probably not very bearish, right? I mean, I am I am just the guy that gets bullish at support levels and gets a little bit more bearish at resistance levels. That's just who I am. Because that's what tends to be what makes me money. So I like to make money. So that's what I'm going to be looking at. That's what I'm going to be expecting in these markets. And if it changes, I'll let you know. But I don't necessarily think that it will. It's simple, exactly. It is simple. It is simple. The best show, young man, so far. Thank you so much. Thank you very, very much. It will go down to 25k. It looks like now it goes up to liquidate a few people, and then all the way down where people are idle. That doesn't really make sense to me, dude. I'm sorry. Have I ever shown a live trade? I don't think so. I mean, like, I wouldn't log into the exchange and just trade in front of you guys. I mean, I guess I could, but, I don't, like, my predictions are pretty consistent. People think, like, you look at the thumbnails, and look, I'm just playing the game, but, you look at the thumbnails, one day bullish, one day bearish. But if you actually watch the videos, my thoughts on this market have been very consistent since 17k. I haven't actually changed my mind on my main picture for the market, and my position reflects that. My money talks is my point. Like, I'm not just kind of getting on and talking shit, to push marketing schemes like other YouTubers out here. I'm talking with my money, and I've been bullish for a while, in the long term, and I acknowledge that we could drop down. So I maybe, want to trade a short position on the way down if it looks safe. For a buy bet alternative, by the way, Google it. There's so many options out there. Just punch it into Google. Bybit is obviously not the only exchange out there. You guys know the deal. I'm also using OKX. I've been working with these guys for a little bit. They're giving you some amazing rewards. Prime XBT available with the link in the description too. Again, what's really cool about Prime XBT is access to traditional finance markets. We've got indices, commodities, gold, silver, and oil, and Forex as well, and you only need a Bitcoin deposit to trade them, which is really, really cool. So these are the three exchanges that I know and love. There's a few more that I use here and there, but BitGet is one of them that I used to use, not really anymore. But you can just Google it and you can find out. I mean, there's so many out there. There's so many exchanges, and a lot of them, by the way, are super similar in terms of the tech, right? Like, a lot of them actually just white label from the big guys, so they have the same, exchange software. So really, when you're choosing an exchange, you want to choose one that's reliable and safe, that has stood the test of time, that doesn't get hacked and so on. So obviously OKX, Bybit, Prime XBT are phenomenal. I trade on these exchanges, right? I mean, you guys see how militant I am about trading safely. Well, I'm obviously going to be militant about where I trade as well. I need to be trading on the best places only. So that's why these are the places that have got my attention. You want to be looking for a safe place, and you want to look for a place that's going to, sweeten the offer. 30k in cash that you can trade is ridiculously good. 30k in bonuses on OKX, which, you get the first 20k just for depositing $50. You get the first 20k in mystery boxes, so these, this is what sweetens the offer and makes it better to trade on. But otherwise, yeah, there's not a whole. And this is the thing, is like, you guys will come to me and ask me questions like this, and I'm not, obviously, yeah, the affiliate links are good for me if you use them, but, the fact of the matter is they're all good exchanges. If it's a big exchange, it's probably a good one, So, but I think Binance is good too. I don't like Binance personally, but Binance doesn't really have problems, especially considering how big they are, so that's a big vote of confidence as well. See what else we got here. Thanks that you went live again to discuss that big dump. For sure, man. You're very welcome. Do I ever use Coinbase? No, not anymore. I used to use Coinbase, but the fees are too high and it doesn't really make sense for me to use it. But it's a very, very good, I mean, if you're okay with Coinbase spreading their cheeks wide open for the US government, it's a pretty good, exchange to be on. Is the daily wick more important, being so large to the sell side, than the daily closing now green? Good question. Elliot, let me repeat that question. So Elliot is, it's kind of, His question is out of date now. This is how quickly the market is moving. But he's asking, like, you know, a few minutes ago the candle was green, the candle was bullish for the day. Does it matter more that it's closing green, or does it matter more that we've had a big ugly wick and we've been rejected from the highs? I think it matters much more that this is a bearish candle and we've got the wick to prove it. This is almost more of a doji. If we close a little bit higher, we're basically just in a reversal candle, which is still bearish because the candle previously was moving up. All of the candles moving up have been, all of the candles previously have been moving up, and now we're reversing. So that in itself is bearish. There's no bullish outlook with this candle, in my opinion, guys. You know, we got above resistance and we lost it. So, you know, if this candle closes lower, and there are still 3 hours left today, and this is a very volatile market, so it definitely could. If this candle closes lower, this is going to look a lot more like a bearish hammer. And a bearish hammer is really bearish. Yeah, there's me just not knowing how to spell anymore. But, you know, we start forming one of these candles, you know, where we get a big, you know, getting a big wick like this shows you that you've been strongly rejected. You know, when we do it towards the downside, it's also very bullish. See here, we got a big wick to the downside. Immediately the market moves up, and it moves up from low to high within just 2-3 days. It moves up by 10%. Right here, we get a big wick to the downside, and we move up straight away. The next candle, we move up from low to high over here. We're up by 5%. You know, so when we form big wicks here, big wick to the downside. Look at this, big wick to the downside, but it's a red candle. It still closes red. This is a direct answer to your question, Elliot. This is the exact opposite situation. The candle still closes red, but it's got a really bullish wick. It's the wick that matters more. Look at the price action that follows here. The wick. Very bullish wick. Price closes up much higher than where it traded. Next candle, we're shooting up. So it's almost always the wick that matters more. And even though we've got a big wick to the downside too, this is a big rejection, and the wick is much bigger on the bearish side. So this is a bad candle. If we look at this on the weekly time frame, in my opinion, obviously I'm not, you know, I'm not a fortune teller or whatever, but in my opinion, it looks bad. On the weekly time frame here, we had a big weekly engulfing candle. We erased the past 4 weeks of price action. This week, we've had a big nasty rejection. You know, so you tell me, you tell me what you think about this chart. But we had a very bearish candle. We had an attempt and we've messed it up now, and we're back down. You know, so the market can still rise up, but technically that wouldn't make sense. And you know, like it's one of those things where, and I kind of said this at the beginning of the video, like going short would have made sense. It was a good idea to go short, and that's exactly why the market did what it did, because there were short traders that had to get screwed. You know, there were short traders that the market wanted to hunt to get those stop losses triggered, to get those liquidation levels hit, you know, and then the market was able to move back down. And so what I said about this is like the short trade made sense, and it's a trade that honestly, I was strongly concerned. Like I said, I already traded the short side over here. I already traded it down. I made some very small profits, and then the rest closed at break even. You know, and the reason that I was interested in it was because the market looked weak, you know, and it looked like it needed to drop. But it can still go against you, and that's why you exercise risk management. That's why you don't trade with too much money, and you don't make the stupid amateur mistakes that most traders make, where they just trade with too much because they're desperate. Again, I need to remind you guys, your competition, who I want you to imagine, are sitting at the top of New York high-rises, you know, sitting on Billionaires Row. Isn't that a road in New York, Billionaires Row? Someone tell me in the comments. You're sitting in these beautiful buildings, you know, trading these markets with all of their family generational wealth. You know, these guys are not making the same mistakes as you. They're not trading with too much money, you know, so they're not over trading. So that is, you know, it's a really, really important thing to keep in mind. 59th Street, you're in New York City. Yeah. So, you know, like these are the guys that are not making, you know, amateur mistakes, you know, and getting caught in this kind of move. You know, like they might have traded short because it's the move that makes sense, for example. But again, a good trader is going to have good risk management. You shouldn't, you know, you should never be in a position where one trade or two trades or 5 or 10 trades can put you in a bad position. Because then you're only 1, 2, 5 trades away from having a problem, you know? And again, your competition will not have that problem. Your competition will be sensible about it, you know, and you're going to lose your money to them. 2% max loss on every trade, period. Rafal, I think that's a brilliant rule to live by. It's not going to fit everybody. Some people do need to trade more aggressively. Obviously, you're gonna trade more or less aggressively depending on how much money you have. People with more money have more to protect. But bottom line, this is a big deal. The more you trade with, the more emotional you're gonna be. And the more emotional you're gonna be, the more mistakes you're gonna make. The more you're gonna revenge trade, so on and so forth. So, so that's what you need to keep in mind. I would like to buy Sammy Loyal fan token. Ladies and gents, the day I make a fan token is the day I've officially fully sold out. That would be disgusting. I won't do that. Don't worry about that. $183 million liquidated. Quite a bit of money, yeah. And by the way, someone mentioned that it was old coins that sold today. If anybody has a link, can you please send me that on Telegram? Because I want to look at some of that chain analysis if you have a link to a chart. Or maybe even just a picture that I can throw on the live stream. Please send it through on Telegram. What is the chart I'm using to see liquidations? I'm not looking at liquidations. I don't actually look at that stuff because that's more of like a day trader's tool. And I'm not a day trader. I don't trade that much. So, I'm not really interested in that kind of stuff. But right now I am curious to see it. I should have it, to be honest, but Glassnode is like $9,000. I don't want to. I paid it last year, but I didn't actually use it that much, so I don't know if I want to pay another $9,000 for something that I'm not really going to use. Here's an interesting comment. Rafal, a trader says, I have a great strategy. Later, he doesn't stick to the strategy, and then after that, he's like, my strategy sucks, I need a new one. People think it's the strategy, that's the problem. Actually, a lot of the time, the big strategies that you see online and so on are actually, they're pretty good, the big ones, because they got big because people used them and they're tried and tested. But yeah, most of the time the execution is bad. They just, you really have to trade in a robotic way. You can't get by making brash, emotional, irrational decisions. It's not going to work. It's just not going to work. Let's see if we got any other questions, comments here for this live stream. Otherwise, I'm probably going to get a move on. I did want to go hit that waterfall. Actually, I wanted to do a waterfall hike. I was saying it at the beginning. If you've been on this live stream since the beginning, let me know now. I told you guys at the beginning I wanted to do this little waterfall hike, so I think I'm going to go do that now. Unless you guys have any questions that you want me to answer. If you have enjoyed this live stream so far, do me a big favor and smash up the likes. Double check that you're subscribed. You got the bell icon checked as well, and that you're watching me on the daily channel. It's the top link in the description to get to that channel. That's where I post my altcoin analysis. Lots of interesting updates there. Lots of altcoin trading setups that I outline for you guys that I'm looking to take as well. And of course, get these bonuses, guys. I mean, super quick to get them, and no downside. It's definitely worth getting, even if you're not interested in using these exchanges, just to get the free money. Why not? If I handed you $30,000 to trade with and I said just keep the profits, and don't even give me the money back, everyone would jump to that, and the fact that Bybit is doing that is very, very cool. If you've got any other final kind of questions, I don't want to talk about shit coins. Talk about like Pirate and Deer. I don't even know what these coins are. I'm not gonna look at shit coins right now. But if you have anything else you want me to look at, then please let me know. I have a question. Do I also hold for long term? Yes, I do. What's my prediction on this price by Friday? I have no idea. Again, like to analyze Friday, I have to analyze today, tomorrow, and then Friday. I can't tell you what I think is going to happen. Like I don't know why people think you can like look at like, okay, by this day we're going to be here. Like I don't know. Maybe what about today? What about tomorrow? What like something is going to happen before we get to Friday, and that might change my analysis about Friday. Which is why I only look at the exact next move. And for me, I'm not even going to make a full, decision on that because the market just looks too uncertain right now. And I don't need to. I don't need to make a decision on everything. I can just chill. We don't need to know. We can just kind of wait for the market to sort itself out, loosen up any knots that are in the market right now, and then come in when things look safer. But for me, I am expecting the price to drop down. And if we do drop down, then I don't know. I mean, it's Friday. It's 2 days away. I can't say anything on that. It's pretty hard to answer that question. Thanks, Sammy. It would be great to have some regular live streams. I'll do more of these. Yeah. You guys seem to love it today. Give us the support of ETH before leaving. Let's take a quick look at Ethereum. Actually, I made a video on Ethereum already, but yeah, that video is kind of out of date now. It's the yellow box here that I'm paying attention to. So that's 1670 up to 1800. That's our support area. That's where I'd be expecting a bounce. We kind of fell down into it, but we're not really like getting into the range. We're just kind of falling, to the top of it. So maybe we come a little bit deeper into this range. Let's see if there's a Fibonacci here as well to throw on this chart as well at the same time. Yeah, so 382 level lines up at 1670, so that's the bottom of my support range. Let's just throw the same fib on this chart just to make my life a little bit easier. We're looking at this fib retracement. So 382 level is right here at the bottom of my sideways range. So that looks like a price level that Ethereum's going to want to come down to if we're bearish for a little bit. We are losing a lot of strength against Bitcoin as well. Ethereum's not really getting much relief here, and dominance is shooting up. So it's kind of hard to say. Altcoins are, bottom line, they look dangerous. I mean, that much is obvious. It's the dominance, right? Like the dominance is a problem for Ethereum right now. Bitcoin's dominance is high, it's getting higher, and it's staying high, which is very unusual at this price level. So, that's something which I think is worth keeping in mind. I'm new, but I deposited $100 and it won't let me copy trade. What's the minimum? I have no idea what you're talking about. Am I noticing the head and shoulders? On what? I don't see a head and shoulders. Oh, here. Yeah, that's maybe a head and shoulders. I don't know. It's a bit weird. There's no like real left shoulder here. Definitely could be a head and shoulders. Again, a head and shoulders, these patterns are basically just symptoms of a wider thing. And in this case, what a head and shoulders means is we tag a high, we get higher than that, and then we tag a lower high, again, equivalent to the first high. That's it. Basically a head and shoulders means that we keep getting rejected, even though we're showing more strength. We're actually not that strong. That's basically, it's kind of hard. I don't know if that made sense, but that's basically what a head and shoulders shows. So it makes sense that we're developing one. That's exactly what we're doing, right? Like we're punching up, we're getting rejected. We're punching up a little bit more, we're getting very rejected, and then we're punching up again and getting rejected again potentially, right? And that forms your head and shoulders patterns. So that would make sense. I don't know. It's not something that I'm going to pay much attention to, but definitely would be valid. Just in terms of like the characteristic, which is what I look at. You were talking about on the 1 minute chart. Well, I don't look at the 1 minute chart, so I can't comment on that. But yeah, I mean, I have no idea. Is this the head and shoulders? Man, this is some desperate analysis if you're looking at the 1 minute chart like that. You need to stop looking at the 1 minute chart. That's my 2 cents on that. Because you are when you're looking at such small time frames, you're just kind of trying to compete against bots who are smarter than you, smarter than all of us, because they're bots. So they're not worth engaging, in my opinion. You just kind of lose your money. But I don't know, maybe some people are just better at looking at small time frames and analyzing, but I don't know how. I've studied them a lot and they make no sense to me. Because you're just looking at bots trying to outsmart you. I am humble enough to know that I'm not gonna outtrade a bot, and that's why I don't look at small time frames. Way zoomed in, small HUD. Yeah, I know 1 minute is small potatoes. Yeah, it is. Like, it's not. I don't know. I'm not even gonna comment on that. I don't think it's worth looking at. I think it's pretty dangerous. And I think the more you look at time frames like that, the more, this is the thing. Like, you start falling into a trap of like over analyzing and keeping the chart open all the time. And what that's gonna do is it's gonna spring you to make trades that if you were relaxed and just kind of chilling, you otherwise wouldn't have made. And those are the trades that generally lose money. In my experience, I'm just talking from my experience, of course. Don't I think it's easier to just buy and hold for most people? Yeah, of course, it is. It's way easier to just buy and hold, but it's not as fun and you don't make as much money. And if you wanted to make more money, then you'd be on a channel like this, right? Like I want to make more money than just holding. So that's why I trade. You can't derive any predictable pattern from small time frame. Exactly. I mean, and even the 1 hour time frame is too small, to be honest. I mean, it's the thing with these small time frames is they ping pong too much, right? So like on the 1 hour time frame, we've been pretty bearish for a while. On the 4 hour time frame, we're kind of just neutral. And on the 1 day time frame, well, on the 4 hour, we're probably still a bit more bearish, but 1 day time frame, we're looking pretty good overall. I mean, it still kind of looks like we might need to pull back, but like overall, the short term, like the 1 minute time frame flips too much. The 1 minute time frame's bullish now. You know what I mean? Like it was super bullish up here, it became bearish, now it's bullish again. You can't really trade that. You'll just end up hurting yourself. In my experience, at least, that's how it's always went. Hi all. I see people ask random questions. Well, not that random, but it's almost like a question. Yeah, I mean, we're just sitting back and having a conversation at the same time too. I'm in a short position from 29.1, very good, and I set my stop loss at 29k. What do I think? Well, I mean, I can't really comment on your position, but I mean, I think I've been saying that this is an area where I wouldn't trade it, but I would definitely consider trading it and being short right now. So. I don't think it makes sense to trade it. I think the risk is a little bit too high. It's okay. It's just like the fact that this happened just shows you how dangerous the market is right now. Like that's my primary issue with it. Let me see if there's any other notes. Yeah, nothing else that I really wanted to go through necessarily. So I'm kind of ready to round this off. If you guys do have any final ones, then I'll go through them here. Any final questions? But yeah, if you've just kind of tuned in now, then come back to the beginning of the video and watch it. I heard Mt. Gox wallets are active after 7 years. Is that the old Bitcoins that have been moving? If so, then yeah, I mean, that might explain something. Doesn't really matter, though. That stuff doesn't concern me. We dormant Bitcoins become undormant all the time. It's quite common that happens, and it doesn't necessarily mean anything particularly important in my experience of doing chain analysis. I mean, I have watched this stuff quite a lot because obviously I'm very important in that kind of thing. I'm very interested in that kind of thing. But I haven't seen that it has any real bearing on the market, so I just kind of stopped paying attention. And it's one of the reasons that I don't really want to renew my Glassnode. Is like the Glassnode was giving me really good analysis, but it didn't actually turn out to be useful a lot of the time. What do I think about all banks crashing? I mean, there's two sides. On one side, hopefully it continues getting worse because that's good for Bitcoin potentially, but on the other side, I don't want banks to collapse. I mean, normal people lose their money. It's not something I want to wish on. Do I think it's going to keep happening? Yeah. But I don't want to see it happen. I'd rather Bitcoin moves up because banks are not collapsing, but people just take their money out of banks willingly, and they just kind of decide to put it in Bitcoin because that's what they want to do. I don't want it to be that there's a catastrophe and then we make money. That's almost blood money in a sense, kind of, right? I mean, we're making money off a really quite upsetting event, which I mean I don't really have a strong opinion on. I don't think it's like the worst thing in the world to make money if banks are crashing, but I would prefer if banks were not crashing, put it that way. But yeah, I mean the issues that caused banks to collapse, a month or so ago, are still present now. So it's not like that's going to change. No banks, no way to cash out. World isn't integrated enough to do everything through Bitcoin yet. That's correct. That is correct. And that's why you've got to be very suspicious of any country that's trying to kill cash in their society and so on. That's pretty dangerous. You wanna still have an economy where you've got options. You don't just want to be stuck to fucking CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, basically state-owned cryptos. You don't just want to have that as your only option. You want to have everything as an option. That's the point. That's what Bitcoin provides as an alternative. You want options. Options are good. Almost became a Q&A, yeah, which is like all these live streams do become Q&As at the end, because I've gone through mine. I can't, I've already been speaking about the markets for like an hour. I can't, markets aren't doing anything. I can't say more. I'm new in here. Welcome to the channel, and new to crypto in general. I invested a bunch in several coins, for example, a bunch in Bitcoin at 27.5. With what's happening right now with crypto in general, I won't give you advice. Here's the thing about buying. This guy's asking, should I sell and buy later at a lower price? You could, but it's the opportunity cost, right? Like if you sell now and you want to buy at, 25k, okay, maybe the price drops. What if it drops down to 25.1 and you're asleep and you have an order set to buy at 25, but it doesn't reach 25. It reached 25.1 because everyone front runs the market. And then you wake up and you're at 26 and you're like, okay, maybe it comes back down, because reality is never as easy as it sounds in our mind when we're planning our trades. So we're up to 26 when you wake up and you're like, shit, I missed my entry. Maybe we come back down. Throughout the day, it's the evening now, you're at 26.7. You're like, all right, we're kind of moving away, but maybe we still bounce. You still haven't bought back your Bitcoin. The next day, we're at 28, and you're like, shit, this is bad. The next day, we're at 26 again. Again, this is how markets move. It's like really fucking underwhelming and honestly kind of annoying, especially if you're trying to trade in this way, because it's not smart in my opinion. I'm telling you why. We fall down to 26. You're like, okay, that's a $2,000 drop. We should be down to 25. Okay, 26 turns out to be a good pullback, and now we're back up to 30. The end result is you sold your Bitcoin at 28. You didn't get a chance to buy at 25. Now the price is 30, and you're potentially going to FOMO buy. But you don't FOMO buy because you're not an idiot. And then the price reaches 35. And then you felt so much pain. You've seen the price go $10,000 lower. We're now $10,000 higher than the low. You've sold all of your Bitcoin. You could have made however many percentage points in profit. 35K. At 30K, you don't FOMO in. You're being smart. At 35K, you FOMO in. 35K, we drop down to 28. You feel like an idiot again, and you should have just done nothing. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but this is the kind of thing that happens to people who try and sell and then buy back later. If you have a long-term outlook on Bitcoin, if you think Bitcoin is going to perform spectacularly well, then whether you enter at 28 or 35 or 20 doesn't really matter. If the price is going to go above 100, for example, if that's what you believe is going to happen, it's a good strategy to hurt yourself. Buying, selling, and then trying to buy back later. With a portion of capital, it can be pretty smart. Like if it's not all of your money, but like a little bit, then I've done that kind of thing before. Just as long as you sell, just as long as you buy back, if you are bullish, then yeah, you're chilling. But again, it's a lot harder. Like. The market starts dropping, we fall down to 25, and it's going to feel like 22 is close, so you don't want to buy at 25 anymore. It's hard to stick to those kind of plans. And I guess ultimately what I'm trying to say about this is it's generally going to be the people who want to make that kind of trade that will not have the conviction to rebuy, or that won't have the chance to rebuy. I don't know what it is. If I had to guess, it would be because you have some, it kind of sucks that I don't like saying this, I'm almost like insulting you, but I don't mean it this way. You just have to... We have to be realistic, right? We're traders, right? If we're not realistic with ourselves, we're going to put ourselves in problems. Generally what happens is the kind of people that want to trade this kind of thing, are just happen to be more desperate traders, right? There just happens to be more desperation in them. They want to click shit. They want to buy stuff. They want to sell stuff. They want to feel like they're doing something. There's an itch. There's something there, it's a trigger happy feeling. And those are the people that tend to run into trouble. It might not be that which gets you into trouble, but if you're thinking like that, you're generally, in my experience, you're going to be one of the people that tends to work your way into problems. That's just been how it went for me. And you guys in the comments are saying that the same thing has happened to you as well. So that's my take. It happens all the time. I sold half of my position at 18K, and I haven't bought it back. So there you go. This guy's in the same position. You sell at 18K thinking you're gonna buy back at 12. And the market only drops down to 15. And then we rock it up. And then you're like, okay, well we're kind of like. We're kind of back at the sell price here, but we're only here for a few hours, and then now we're at 20K. And then you're like, okay, well maybe we pull. It's exactly what I just said. You in the comment, Alois Alios, I don't know how to say that name, but what the position you were in is 100% exactly what I just described. You're just using different price levels. Like for him, he sold, I'm guessing, you would have sold like up here. You watched the price come down here. You were trying to buy here. You've been out of the market this whole time. You're feeling good because we haven't returned to this entry level, this exit level. So you're feeling like you're smart. But then, bam, the market, and it just doesn't come back down. You see this drop here. You think it's gonna get worse. It doesn't. You see this move here, you know, and you're just bought into it. At this point, you're like, you know, well, you know, I may as well just buy back. So you buy back up here, and then you feel like an idiot here. You feel smart again, and so what happens is you actually enter like a roller coaster. This is why I said that, like, if you're that guy, you're probably the guy that's just desperate. You're probably just the guy that makes other mistakes, because you start entering like a roller coaster of, like, you know, and you compare yourself to the guy that actually bought down here or whatever. It's just toxic, you know, like, bad things happen. You buy back over here, you feel like a genius up here. You just have too much room for feelings. That's the problem. This is what I preach against, especially with VIPs that I speak to, or that, you know, when you're in the group and I teach against this stuff in the course and stuff like that, is you don't want to have the opportunity to feel happy. Because if you have the opportunity to feel happy, you're going to have the opportunity to feel sad. And if you have the opportunity to feel either of these things, then you're probably going to make compromised decisions. You're probably going to be making decisions ruled by emotion. You feel like a genius up here, and the market crashes back down to here. You know what I mean? And you're just holding on to it this whole time. You know, that's the kind of trader you become when you look for moves like that. Some people can do it well, but those are not the people that ask that question in my experience. And it's not a bad thing. You know, you just have to reframe how you look at these markets, right? That's why, like, for a lot of people, it'll happen to be that if you buy a good, whether it's mine or not, it doesn't matter. But if you buy a good resource on how to trade and how to manage your psychology, and that's exactly what I'm all about, you know, with the offerings I have for you guys. You know, if you're following that kind of model, you know, and you're doing things the right way, by paying for this kind of content, this exclusive content that goes behind the closed doors with VIP, a lot of people have lost less money. You know, it'll cost you less money than your losses would have costed you, and you'll stop losing money too. You know, which is step one in making money, is not losing money. You know, if you're still losing money, it doesn't matter how much you make. You're just going to keep on pouring water into a bucket that has a hole in it, which makes no sense. So that's my take there. And if you are interested in that kind of stuff, the links to speak to me about that are right here. Very, very easy to get involved with that stuff right there. Let's see what else you guys have got here for last minute questions here. The safest amount of leverage to apply at the right time and the right moment. I mean, you know, this is going to depend on different people. Generally, the higher leverage you use, the riskier it gets, right? So I don't use anything more than 10x, but it really depends on the individual situation. You could keep your position and buy it when the price drops to your target. I don't understand that solution, but I just don't think it's smart to trade that way. I don't. You know, unless I do it with a really small amount of capital. If I do it with a small amount of capital, then you know, it's okay. But I never do it with all of my money or anything close. You feel like you really needed to hear this, Shazib Khan. You're very welcome, man. Thank you for the reality check. You're very, very welcome. Yeah, I mean, that's what trading is about, right? Like, honestly, a lot of it is just, like, a lot of you guys actually kind of know what you need to know. You just don't implement it, or like you already kind of know, like, what you need to know, like, as an analyst and as a trader, but you've got, like, this one psychological pitfall that just keeps on fucking you, which is good when you're in that kind of position. You know, what it means is that you just kind of have to fix one thing and then you're okay. You know, a lot of people only have to make 20, 50, whatever, however many overnight fixes, but they are overnight fixes. Once you fix them, you'll stop fucking it up. That's the thing that's important, right? Like, a lot of people, they just need to, you just need to kill a habit. That's all, you know, like, it's not like you have a genuine problem that's going to take you 6 months to recover from, you know, or like 6 months where it's going to, and then you'll kick away the bad habit. No, you just stop being an idiot, really. It kind of boils down to that. You know, you just follow your rules. You write down some rules and you just follow them. That's it. It's simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. You know, and as long as you just kind of ignore your psychology and you keep in mind, resistance is resistance, support is support. You know, when you keep these basic things in mind, and you don't really, you know, and you just decide, okay, my emotions will not let this, you know, get messed up for me, and I'm just going to stick to my plan, regardless of how scary it feels. You know, that's what worked out for me. That's how I went from, you know, someone who was always losing money to who I am now. Mitch, will I be making a 4Flies dashboard available to you guys? Probably, yeah. Most likely, you guys will be able to use this in a little bit. Not quite yet. We're not ready. You've seen the updates happen. We still need to fix the US dollar index chart, and this this is all pretty much done. Let me know what you guys think if you have any kind of feedback on it. All right, this guy is on the 1 minute chart again. With the head. But yeah, I mean, this dashboard is nearly ready. I've got the upcoming news events here. So FOMC meeting, the next one is going to happen on the 3rd of May. We're using day, month formats here. So correct, in other words. Although Japan is year, month, day. And I think that might actually be better. I'm not sure. I think our European way is good, day, month. But anyway, just so you guys know, because I know a lot of you guys are international, this is the way the calendar works, and that shows us that yeah, I mean, it's literally just like a week away. We've got the interest rate meeting, so I might be live streaming during that. If you're interested in that, just make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss that. This is cool. Reminds me of MDX Algo. Yeah, well, I spoke to Max a lot when I was developing this. I took this actually most of it is very similar to his dashboard, and he deserves full credit for it. He knew I was making this, and I think his dashboard is phenomenal. I was using it all the time. Now I have mine. I don't need to use his. Mine is slightly different. I have slightly different things, but it's literally just mdxalgo.com. This is another dashboard, phenomenal dashboard, very good. I love the guy. He's a strong YouTuber. He's a better trader than me, that's for sure. He is also British, so everything you like about my channel is better on his channel. And I'm always very quick to tell you guys the people who I watch, who I take seriously, whose analysis I respect. Because I'm a student too, just as you guys. I also sit in that chair that you're sitting in, and I watch other YouTubers and try and learn from them. Not all the time, very infrequently these days. But he's a good YouTuber. Definitely subscribe to him. Tell him that you came from my channel. He's a personal friend of mine as well. And yeah, it's very similar to his dashboard. There are some differences. I would consider mine to be better. I definitely think it is better. So they're both good options. But yeah, right now I'm just using this for you guys in these videos, and I'm using this for myself. But yeah, we will probably make this available to the rest of you guys at some point. Yeah, year, and then month is cool, because it avoids US UK confusion. That's definitely true. Yeah, I think that's why I like the year format a little bit more. I only watch you, Max, and Lifer. I haven't heard of Lifer, but thank you very much. Do appreciate a vote of confidence. I love the live stream today, guys. It's been really good. It's been fun to do this. We've gone on for about 90 minutes, so I do want to wrap this up now. I might just take one more final question if we have one, but otherwise I'm kind of done for today. There's not a whole lot more that I want to discuss with you guys right now, and I'll probably be on the Four Flies Daily channel right after this. So make sure you are subscribed to that so you don't miss out on that content. I'm very keen on trading these markets. We've been looking at all of these coins, and there's a lot going on. There really is. I mean, it's pretty hot. So this is definitely something that's worth paying attention to, I think, right now. Am I still in Dubai? No, I'm not. I'm not in Dubai right now. Crypto Lifer, he's also great. Okay, yeah, good to know. I'll check him out after this. But yeah, guys, thank you all very much. And Capo is still considering 12K. What are my thoughts? So Capo is a Twitter figure who has been notoriously very bearish. He's been losing a lot of money going short in the market. Again, I've said continuously, I don't think we're setting new lows. We might, and to be honest, it's not really my style of analysis. I don't really analyze such long time frame stuff. So it's hard for me to say, but I mean, the way the chart is looking right now, I don't think we're going back down to 12. And I think a lot of it is going to be dependent on traditional finance, right? Like if the S&P 500 just completely fucks up and everything changes, and it just trends lower and it becomes horrible, and if the dollar starts moving up and if gold starts getting killed, then yeah, that's probably going to mean a sub 15K Bitcoin, a sub 20K Bitcoin. But do you see those things happening? Because I don't. I think gold is very bullish right now. I think it's going to stay bullish. Even if it pulls back, I think it's only a pullback before it moves up. I am now the proud owner of physical gold for the first time in my life, which I'm so honored to say. There aren't many 21-year-olds out there that are clued up enough to be buying gold, so I feel really proud of that. I don't feel proud particularly often. I just don't feel anything, with regards to my financial decisions. and that's the way it's supposed to be. You shouldn't be feeling happy or sad, like I said. But gold is something that I'm very proud to be holding because I made a mistake. I should have bought it a long time ago. You guys know I've been bullish on gold forever, literally forever. And I think gold is like one of the most obvious, easy, slow trades that you could make that I could make right now. It's just so fucking obvious that it's gonna hit like $2,500, $3,000. You know, like it's rare that I'm gonna get behind the microphone, get behind the camera, and then give you a bold prediction. You know, and like say that something is obvious. It's very rare that I say that, but a lot of the time when I say that, it does work out. You know, and that's why I choose very carefully when I say that kind of thing. I couldn't be more bullish on gold. I really couldn't. Gold is the most obvious bet that I'm seeing right now. I hold a little bit. I wish I held way more. I mean, at this time, I would be happy if I was holding more gold than Bitcoin. That's how bullish I am on gold. And the reason for that is, I mean, fundamentally, it makes perfect sense. Technically, this is such a bullish chart. Such a bullish chart. Look at this. Last time we got up to this level, you know, we dropped down instantly back in 2011. We're on the weekly time frame. The next time, very quickly dropped again. The next time, very quickly dropped again. This time, we're just hanging out. You know, over here, we kind of spent a little bit more time. What's very clear is that it took us, you know, like 10 years to come back to this resistance level, and then only 2 years, and then only, you know, like 1 year. So we're getting up to this resistance level much faster, and we're spending much more time up here as well. You know, so as far as all of the potential signs we could have been showing to give us an indication that this market is really bullish, we're showing all of them right now. So I'm loving the look of gold. And with all of these factors at play in the market right now, I just can't see Bitcoin's path down to 12K. It could happen, but things would have to change. We'd have to completely change the dynamics in this market. We would have to lose so many support. It's just so far away. It's so unlikely to happen, in my opinion, that it's just off the table as far as I'm concerned. It's just not something I think. Anything is possible. Anything, you know, nothing's guaranteed, but it's just not. It's just not what I would be, you know, expecting. Let's see what else we got here. Would be interested to hear my review on Trader's Reality. I've been told that I should be watching him by a very good friend of mine, and I still haven't started watching him. But apparently he's a really, really good analyst. I've heard very, very good things about him. I watched him a little bit, but only for a few minutes, so I need to watch him again. He is one of the main guys I want to start watching. Did my parents give me 3K in bougie gold jewelry? My family does not come from money, sir. Yeah, no, that's not how it works. I think, by the way, I'm pretty sure my mom texted me the other day. She wanted to buy some gold jewelry. I should have been more excited when she told me that. Even Mama Sammy is switched on. Even Mama Loyal is switched on to the idea of a bullish gold. Bless her. She's a simple woman. She's a very, very simple woman. She gets happy easily. She never buys stuff. Alright guys, I am gonna wrap it up here. I'm hungry now as well, in addition to wanting to do that hike. So I'm gonna get off. But if you have enjoyed this one, you know exactly what to do. Give me a final pump up on those likes if you haven't done so already. Double check you've subscribed, you've ticked the bell, you've done all that good stuff. And of course, just make sure that you are watching that daily channel for the altcoin analysis and taking advantage of these beautiful offers with OKX Bybit. So much free money, so many free rewards available for you. Well worth checking out. Thank you so much for all the beautiful, beautiful comments. And thank you for tuning in. We'll do more of these for sure. The next time there's a big move in the market, I will hopefully be here. I'm definitely intending on being here. And I will be live with you as well. So there you go. Beautiful, beautiful live stream. And I'll see you all in the very